against southpaws.
Conor looks scared. Oh boy, you don't know what you got yourself into now.
Undefeated versus ultimate underdog. The bell and McGregor immediately going on the attack.
Floyd usually takes these early rounds to study the opponent,
and then he has his way.
No rush, no rush.
Conor McGregor predicting a second round KO.
We can't watch anymore. Unfortunately, you know, we can't watch anymore. Y'all thought I was going to play the full episode like a dickhead? Hey, listen, understand that I do my videos immediately after fights go off. And listen, sometimes the fight don't even go off. I'll hear the final bell ring or the stoppage, and I'll just click record and I do my video. So this is only my second video. I did a long one last night, about 80 minutes or so, that I'm uploading now because I had to edit some stuff out about the fight. So when I was first watching the fight, right, I was all in the emotion of it and shit. Like, oh my God, Floyd is looking bad out there and all that shit. No. I firmly, wholeheartedly believe that Floyd Mayweather walked him down. I firmly believe that Floyd fought him like that on purpose. There's been many reports of Floyd not even training. You know, that all he was doing was just getting in shape. You know, he confirmed at the post-fight press conference he didn't even spar for the month of the fight. And guess what? The fight was only announced for like 6 weeks or some shit, 7 weeks, some shit like that, maybe less. So do I believe that Floyd was looking like shit? Nah, I just believe that Floyd fought that style to see what Conor McGregor had to offer. And also, why would he do all that elusive, all that shit? He could have fought that route. He could have. You think that his legs just went that quickly overnight? Like, dude literally just was walking him down. And then later on in the fight, you saw he started throwing bombs. Now, I'm not taking no credit away from Conor McGregor, but however, it's hard for me to believe that McGregor would be able to do that against a Floyd Mayweather that was like, for example, if this was the last fight of the Showtime contract, right, and it wasn't Pacquiao, you know, I don't believe Floyd would have fought him like that. So there's so many things we have to talk about in this video. The last episode of All Access came on last night right after the replay on Showtime. Let's get some things clear. Now, this is my first in detail video outside the one I did last night, of course, where I'm talking about the fight. So people are saying, TstreeT, you hating on Floyd and all that. You say he was, yo, listen. For some reason, I've told y'all, now that the man is retired, I can get off my chest. I've told you, you know, before subliminally that I be trolling the shit out of Floyd. Like, what the fuck? You know? But in this case, I'm telling you that now that the man is retired and everything like that, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. You know, I'm not one of them people that's, you know, like was wanting him to be in jail and all that shit. People be going through shit. That shit is real out here. You know, so to see him come from where he's come from, and I've purchased every single Floyd Mayweather pay-per-view. Every single one. I've watched every single HBO fight. All of them. I've watched all of his fights multiple times. It's my job. So as he grew in what he grew in, when I came on here on my YouTube shit, I was like, all right, well, you know, like, it's the money grab. It's the money grab. Conor ain't, you know, Conor gonna be hitting Floyd with that power. Floyd ain't never seen that type of style. Floyd ain't never seen that type of speed. I was selling the fight. They didn't even need me to sell it. I was having fun doing it. However, I'm glad it is over. I'm glad to have been a part of it, covering the press conferences. You know, but however, you know, as I said, I'm glad that it's over. And this man can go off and the sport can just finally move on. Now, as far as pay-per-view buys, a lot of people have been saying, what's the pay-per-view buys number? Well, here's something that I've learned over the years. Pay-per-view buys don't come out that quickly. Now, I'm thinking that they may can have some like real time, you know, like roundabout numbers the next day or something, but pay-per-view buys don't come out that quickly. So when I heard that, you know, 6.5 million pay-per-view buys, the first thing I did was I put a post on my social media to just fish around, you know, see what people was saying. I said, you know, Mayweather McGregor 6.5 million pay-per-view buys, question mark. If it did that, you know, that's some crazy ass shit. Now, this was a number that Dana White had put out there. Now, why would he lie? But the Showtime president, the one who would have the pay-per-view number, Steven Espinoza, said, nah, it's going to probably break, and I'm just paraphrasing, not quoting. He said it's probably going to break Mayweather-Pacquiao record but right now it's looking like it's in the low to mid 4s, you know? So if they was to do 5, but either way, no matter what, that's still some crazy ass shit. To do some, you know how crazy those numbers are? So 6.5 million, that just was, the world was getting ready to blow up, you know? And then they're talking about that over 3 million people streamed, those that they know of. That's only 3 million that they know of. They couldn't even, you know, the streamers couldn't even stop this shit. This shit was big, you know. Leonard Ellaby was right. In fact, you know what? We're gonna watch it. I can't show the whole thing, guys. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Why is that
Fighting this guy.
You can see Valori absorbing shot.
We're not gonna do that. You know, but I want to pull up something that Leonard Ellaby said, and he was right, man. He was right. You know, so also, you know, we have to talk about this potential. We have to talk about this potential injury that Conor McGregor has. And I said many times that I feel that this fight shouldn't have been for 50 and 0. It damn sure shouldn't have been in no 8-ounce gloves. And it should not have been 12 rounds. Now, the Nevada State Athletic Commission has been getting a lot of shit from media for sanctioning this fight, you know, especially when they bent the rules. A lot of boxers was upset, too. I saw a lot of boxers on Twitter and social media talking about, like, yo, how they going to put this, make this for 8-ounce gloves? Yo, dude can get hurt out there. And crazy thing is, he has gotten hurt, you know? But hold on, I want y'all to see something. And he was talking about it. You know, like, this was a big fucking fight.
Thank you for that, by the way. My other question is, when this fight is over, do you think that Floyd will then go back and retire and be done for good? I look at it and I see he'll be 41 in January, he'll be 50 and 0. He'll have made another however many hundreds of millions on this big monster pay-per-view. And at that point, maybe he would in fact be done. Has he said anything to you about that, or what's your gut about what he does beyond this?
Floyd promised this the other day that he's not doing this. I mean, and this, you got to remember, this is an incredible opportunity that no one, not no one would have ever turned down, regardless of what anyone will say with these ridiculous comments that you hear with some of the press members about how they try to bash this fight. One thing about you guys who want to call it this and call it that, you sit around, call it whatever you want to. This shit is big. This shit is big, and it's bigger than everybody in this room. This thing is caught fire, and the mainstream world wants to see this. And how can you go? Excuse my French, my mom would be pissed at me if she let me say I was cursing her. How you gonna go and shit on somebody's fight? Something that everybody want to see. We didn't ask for this. We didn't ask for this. We didn't sit around and beg this and that. The fans want to see this.
I was asking about if he's going to retire when this is done.
No, I'm not even go there with you, Dan. You were the main one to try to encourage people that, oh, don't go and buy it. But guess what? It don't even matter what you say, because guess what? This shit is going to be big with whatever what you say. It don't matter. You can write your little stories. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for you, and it's been that way. We can agree to disagree, but it don't matter what you say. Because boxing and this event is way bigger than Dan Raphael. This isn't about Dan Raphael. I can tell you that right now. This isn't about you. You're great at what you do, but you don't know everything. You don't know everything. And I'm not. And don't take this wrong. This is not me bashing it. I'm just. He know I would say this to him because we have these kind of exchanges, but it's like we can agree to disagree. This is bigger than one person and having an opinion. Whether you like it or not, you don't have to tune in and buy it. You don't have to tune in. This is a big event that the fans have demanded. The fans want this. And we talking about casual fans. We talking about casual fans. I mean, here it is. I got a call from a very, very prominent.
Yeah. I mean, he's right. Like, you know, like he was right. That shit was big. Pause. You know? That shit was big. Here's the thing. This is the word on the curb. This is what I've heard. Now, obviously nothing is confirmed, but this is what makes sense, right? This should make sense that when Dana White allowed McGregor to fight in boxing, and knowing that McGregor was going to make way more money than he could possibly likely ever make in a UFC, real truth be told, and he's already made more from one fight in boxing that the entire UFC roster has made in a year plus so far. I did the math. Some crazy shit. So what incentive would he have to go back where the most he can make is 15, maybe 20, now 25, maybe 20 million, maybe a fight? You know? So the word I got, and I started, you know, thinking that does make sense, is that he was made to quietly sign an extension with the UFC. This is not confirmed. But he was made to quietly sign an extension with the UFC before they would allow him to go on and get the money grab with Mayweather. But that makes sense, right? Because you have to think that the UFC had to get some money from this, right? You know, how much are they taking from, you know, Conor McGregor? Because he's already been out the octagon for now, what, almost a year? He fought in November. You know, so, and that's why Dana White, when the fight was first announced on a media call and in an interview the same day the fight was announced, he said that, you know, like, you know, we didn't want this dragging out. We chose August the 26th, and we know basically, he said, I know that shit is like right around the corner, you know, but we wanted to have it so that Conor can have some time off after the fight and have him back in the UFC. They didn't want him off. They didn't want him off for a year, you know, a whole year out of the UFC. So they wanted to make sure his ass was back. You know, they wanted to make sure that his ass was back. So they said, fuck it, August 26th it is. And that's why they were having issues, you know, securing the arena, but they got it done. The fight didn't sell out, but what does it matter if they sold, like, they still broke the overall gate record? You know, the tickets was too high. But at the same time, they made their money. They broke the Mayweather-Pacquiao gate record. You know, they're still waiting. It's looking very likely they're going to break the Mayweather-Pacquiao record. But the fucked up part about it is the man is hurt. You know, and it looks bad on the Nevada State Athletic Commission because you got people saying shit like, I've been reading in the forums and shit lurking. You got fans saying shit like, well, it's just a mild concussion. It's like, yo, fighters don't normally just get concussions after a fight. That's not something normal, you know? And he was taking continuous hard shots, and you would think that, what if they just followed the rules and it just was the, you know, the 10-ounce gloves instead of the 8 like it was supposed to be? Maybe he just was been stopped, but he wouldn't have been knocked out. Floyd was loading up. He was walking him down and loading up. You know, and he said, like in the post-fight press conference, he said, you know, like, I got everybody know, he finally confessed. Everybody know I got brittle hands. You know, so he was like, you know, basically, I wasn't sparring in training and basically not training because I didn't want to hurt my hands. So we said this and talked about this in the build-up to this fight is that people were saying Floyd ain't knocking nobody out. And I said, yo, the reason why Floyd wasn't knocking people out because he was involved in a contract that had him fighting frequently that he couldn't afford a hand injury. So in this case, he was loading up on some shit like, fuck it, if I break my hand, I break my hand because I'm not fighting again. You know? You know, Conor McGregor forgot his cup. Rookie shit. I like the way All Access treated him, though. I'm not going to lie. They wasn't biased. You know, they wasn't biased. And now people are asking stuff like, well, will there be a rematch? There ain't going to be no motherfucking rematch. You know, also, you know, people are saying, well, will Conor McGregor come back to boxing and who should he fight? Obviously, the #1 should be Paulie Malignaggi. You know, but then again, it shouldn't when he can probably get bigger fights, you know? He could get bigger fights than that and get beat up again. You know, people saying he was looking good. He did look good. Put it this way. They put on a show. They put on a show. Conor McGregor had to learn that little tapping shit. And he do that shit in the UFC too, where he'll be tapping you with the jab, you know, and then fire that left hand. Yo, his punches didn't have no pop in boxing. You know, and even like he was pushing his punches, you know, it was different. It was different. But in the UFC, he's gonna go back and be cleaning, you know, cleaning up. If they don't put him against somebody that's going to choke him out. But trust and believe that the UFC are going to make sure when he comes back, they want him to win, but they also want it to be a profitable fight. He is the son of the UFC. He is the UFC. So they don't want him to come back and lose. They want him to come back and bring boxing fans because guess what? Now they're going to be boxing fans buying UFC that never bought UFC before. I just hope that the same goes the other way, as far as mixed martial arts fans are like, okay, all right, I'm going to buy Canelo versus Golovkin. Another boxing match is on. They're saying it's the biggest fight of the year. Let me buy that too. That's what I'm hoping. Because I damn sure know that a lot of you fans, you casual boxing fans, know who Conor McGregor is now. Y'all going to be watching him with all the shit talking and shit like, oh, the dude that fought Floyd fighting. Let's watch that shit. You know, so in a way, this was very dangerous, like, you know, as far as helping the sport, because from what I see, it's going to help the UFC a lot more, especially since Floyd is retired, you know? Thought I cut myself. Got a paper cut, man. Or a splinter. Is that a splinter? What's up in there? You know? It's crazy that this is really like the last episode of All Access for Floyd Mayweather. I don't see him coming back. You know, it's a shame people want him to fight Errol Spence, and you know that's not enough money when you have 2 straight fights, right? Well, 2 out of 3 fights where you make over $100 million, you know, $200 million, $300 million. You know, the Pacquiao fight. Then of course he fought Berto to finish the Showtime contract. He got his flat little 30, you know, 32, whatever it was. I believe it was 32 million to fight Berto. That was his flat rate, you know. And then you fight, you know, Conor McGregor. And make 300 plus already. We already know it's at least 300 already. We know it's at least 300, you know. I just hope that brother, man, don't get involved in no bullshit with the IRS again. I just hope that he don't get involved with no bullshit like that again, man. Now, I'll say it again. Understand that people were downplaying the tax situation when he literally confirmed that he had tax issues. He confirmed it during the LA press conference. Because the question kept coming up. You know, but was he broke? See, here's the thing. You know, I be having situations, you know, where I be having bad weeks and be fucked up, but am I broke? No, because me and my pop got a trust fund. You see what I'm saying? So in his case, he may not have had like the actual cash. Like he probably had on like 10 million or some shit. But that don't mean he don't have 100 million in like assets somewhere. But in order to get to that, to get the money to pay the IRS, he probably would have had to close shit, sell shit off and all that. You know, so dude wasn't broke. You know, it wasn't that type of situation, but it's like still, bro, don't get involved in that type shit. You know, like pay your fucking taxes. So I'm hoping that he do the right thing because the IRS, they're going to ask for their money that they owe. But who knows? They may say, nah, you know what, Floyd, hold on to that. We're going to come back and get it later. What if they do that? The IRS, a lot of times, like, they'll wait to try to get you, they try to get their money to see if you still got it. So therefore, they can take all your shit. So I just hope he just on some shit like, no, how much do I owe y'all for fucking this year and the last year and even next year? Let's get all that shit out the way right now. You know? That's what I'm hoping. And also going forward in the future, I'm hoping that he becomes a better, a more mature promoter. Because right now he's saying that Tank Davis is going to be the next pay-per-view star. Tank Davis just doesn't have it. You know, for one, he's got to work on his mic skills. That's number one. And I don't mind him showing off in the ring, but if you're going to show off, then make weight. You know, don't be showing off in the ring doing dumb shit when you ain't make weight and you lost your belt on the scales. You know, you got to go out there and be like, all right, you all about business. You see what I'm saying? So who's going to carry the pay-per-view torch? I don't know. Who's going to carry the pay-per-view torch? I don't know. Right now, Canelo seems to have it, but you can only put him on pay-per-view against fighters that are going to sell. But whatever, man. I don't know if they put All Access. Let me go check the Showtime page. I don't know if they put All Access on YouTube yet. If not, I'm going to put it. If they did, I'll put it down in the description box. Nope. They didn't put it on YouTube yet. I'm sorry, y'all. I wish I can like show it to you. But if you're crafty enough, you know, if you're savvy enough, you'll find it. You'll find it. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube next week. You know, overall, it's like this. You know, the episode was what you expect from the episode. They show like briefly for about the first 5 minutes of the build up to the fight. You know, then, you know, the highlights of them in the ring. And then, of course, you know, what was going on in, like, the locker room between the fights. You know, Floyd was on some cool shit, had the whole entourage and everything. You know, stars coming back to see him. Then you had, you know, Conor McGregor forgetting his cup. You know, forgetting his cup. His team in the back, they just looking just lost because this, you know, they in a big-time boxing event. This shit was crazy. You know, but like I said, you got to be happy for Conor McGregor as far as, like, what he was able to accomplish. You know, because either way, even though he got stopped, he still won. You know? Even though he got stopped, he still won. You know, so I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Oh, and let's just hope that Conor McGregor is really all right, because truth be told, this shit is going to fall down hard on somebody if, like, he can't go back to the UFC, or if this brain injury is like something serious. But let's, you know, so far they're not saying that it is, you know. So, you know, it's just, but still, don't downplay a concussion. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.